Hello, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll discuss how does resonance occur in a molecule or ion. Let us start resonance without wasting much time. You know, if there is a lone pair in conjugation with a pi bond, resonance occurs. What is the meaning of conjugation? You see, this is a lone pair. Then there is a sigma bond or single bond. Then after the single bond, a double bond is there. So resonance occurs over here. The name of this compound is vinyl chloride. The lone pair on chlorine forms a double bond, and the existing pi bond between C and C gets shifted, and the last carbon gains a negative charge. You see the next resonating structure or canonical structure of vinyl chloride. Due to resonance, some energy is released that is known as resonance energy. If there is resonance, stability of the molecule or ion increases. If the lone pair or negative charge is not in conjugation with a multiple bond, resonance does not occur. Take the example of allyl chloride. In allyl chloride, the lone pair on chlorine is not in conjugation with the double bond. So here resonance does not occur. Let us take another example. Suppose there is a negative charge on an atom, and that negative charge in conjugation with a pi bond. How does resonance occur? You see on the screen. The negative charge forms a pi bond, and the existing pi bond gets shifted. The other resonating structure is written by putting a double-headed arrow between resonating structures. Let us do resonance in phenol. Let us take another example, phenol. You see there are two lone pairs on oxygen atom. The lone pair of oxygen is in conjugation with the pi bond between carbon 1 and carbon 2. So resonance is possible over here. The lone pair will form a double bond between oxygen and carbon, and the existing pi bond between number 1 and number 2 carbon is shifted as shown. Then the second carbon gains a negative charge. You see on the negative charge there are two electrons. One is of that carbon 2, and the other electron is from the first carbon. As it gains one electron, it gets a negative charge. The negative charge has two electrons, or this negative charge can form a double bond with third carbon, and the double bond between third and fourth carbon can be shifted, or you can say shifted to the fourth carbon. The double bond between third and fourth carbon is shifted. Then the fourth carbon gains a negative charge, means there are two electrons. That negative charge on fourth carbon is in conjugation with the double bond between fifth and sixth carbon. So when the lone pair of the fourth carbon forms a double bond, the existing bond between fifth and sixth carbon gets shifted. Then the sixth carbon gains a negative charge. The negative charge on sixth carbon will form a pi bond, and the double bond between C and O is shifted, and O gains the lone pair, and the positive charge developed on oxygen is vanished. One thing I want to tell, as oxygen given a pair of electron to form a bond, but oxygen has one electron in its custody. Actually, it has given one electron to the carbon. So there is a double bond, but that double bond or that newly created bond is under the influence of that carbon and this oxygen. So actually oxygen lost one electron, so it gained a positive charge. You see, there are a number of resonance structures, maybe it's 5. If the number of resonance structures are more, the stability is more, because during resonance energy is released, that is resonance energy. But in the resonance structures of phenol, you see in the resonance, in phenol, during resonance, oxygen carries positive charge and the carbon gains negative charge. So there is electrostatic force of attraction between this negative charge and the positive charge on oxygen. So when the negative charge on is shifted, when the negative charge on the second carbon will form a double bond with the third carbon, the attraction between the negative charge and the positive charge needs some energy to break. So some extra energy is given from outside. So in phenol, some energy from outside is provided. That is why phenol has some more energy because of charge separation. Extra energy is given from outside to overcome the attractive force, so that the negative charge on second carbon can form a pi bond with third carbon. But in phenoxide, there is no such charge separation. Only negative charge moves around the phenoxide ion. You see, this is phenoxide. The negative charge developed after losing the proton. So the negative charge is in conjugation with the pi bond as shown, and the negative charge will form a double bond, and the existing double bond between number 1 and number 2 is shifted. The negative charge developed on second carbon will form a double bond with third carbon, and the double bond between third and fourth carbon is shifted. Then negative charge developed on fourth carbon will form a double bond between fourth and fifth carbon, and the double bond between fifth and sixth carbon is shifted. Then sixth carbon gains negative charge. The negative charge developed on sixth carbon will form a double bond, and the existing double bond between C and O is shifted, and O gains its negative charge. Here you see there is no charge separation. So in phenoxide, there is no extra energy given from outside. So phenoxide has more stability than phenol. As phenoxide, let us draw the resonating structures of phenol and phenoxide. Oxygen has two lone pairs. The lone pair on oxygen is in conjugation with the pi bond. You see this lone pair is in conjugation with this pi bond, so resonance is possible. This lone pair will form a double bond over here, and the existing pi bond is shifted, and this carbon gains negative charge. You see there is a positive charge on oxygen and negative charge on second carbon, and this negative charge on second carbon will form a double bond over here, and existing pi bond or the pi bond from the double bond is shifted to this position, 1 2 3 4, fourth position or fourth carbon. This negative charge will form a double bond over here, and existing pi bond from the double bond is shifted to this position. You see the negative charge formed on sixth carbon will form a double bond, and the existing pi bond between this oxygen and this carbon is shifted, and the O gains its lone pair, and this bond becomes a single bond. You see oxygen gains its lone pair, this bond becomes a single bond. Here a double bond is formed or a pi bond is formed, and oxygen gains its lone pair and the positive charge on oxygen is vanished over here. You see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regenerative structures. In this structure you will find plus and minus. As there is plus and minus, there is charge separation. As there is charge separation, there is attraction between this positive and negative charge. As there is attraction, some energy is given from outside to overcome this attractive force. This negative charge on the second carbon will form a pi bond over here, and the existing pi bond is shifted. Same story. This is the negative charge, this is the positive charge. Obviously the attraction between this negative and this negative and this positive is less, so less energy is required. But in phenol there is charge separation. As there is charge separation, it has some more energy. Phenol, after release of a proton, gives a phenoxide. Let us draw the resonating structures of phenoxide. Phenoxide has no charge separation. In phenoxide, only negative charge moves around the structure. Let us draw. You see the negative charge on oxygen forms a bond over here, and the existing pi bond or the pi bond from the double bond is shifted to this carbon. You see this carbon gains negative charge and a double bond is formed. Here the negative charge moves, there is no charge separation, and this negative charge will form a double bond, and the existing pi bond from the double bond is shifted. You see this negative charge forms a bond and this pi bond is shifted, a negative charge is created and a double bond is formed. We will draw the next regenerative structure. Here the negative charge will form a double bond and the pi bond from this double bond is shifted, and this carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sixth carbon will gain a negative charge. This negative charge will form a double bond, or you can say the negative charge will form another bond over here and a double bond is created. This pi bond from this carbon oxygen bond is shifted and this O gains its negative charge. This is the last regenerative structure. You see there are 5 regenerative structures. In case of phenol there are also 5 regenerative structures, but in phenol there is charge separation, but in phenoxide there is no charge separation. So phenol has some more amount of energy than this phenoxide. So phenol prefers to give a proton to become a more stable phenoxide ion. So phenol is acidic, and the double bond created between this oxygen and this carbon is known as partial double bond. So the bond length between this carbon and this oxygen becomes short, or you can say the bond length becomes shorter, so it needs more energy to break this C and O bond. Let us draw the Lewis-Strauss structure of carbon dioxide. In carbon dioxide, carbon is in the middle and 2 oxygen atoms are on 2 different sides of carbon. You know, in carbon there are 4 valence electrons. As its atomic number is 6, so it has 4 valence electrons. And oxygen has 6 valence electrons as its atomic number is 8, 2, 6. You see, in carbon dioxide, each oxygen forms a double bond with a central carbon atom. And each oxygen has 2 lone pairs of electrons. As this lone pair on oxygen is in conjugation with a pi bond, this lone pair can form a bond. And this oxygen carries a positive charge, and the other oxygen gains a negative charge. Why? The pi bond between this oxygen and carbon is shifted, and oxygen has one more electron on it, so it gains negative charge. Another resonance structure can also be drawn in a reverse way. The lone pair of this oxygen will form a pi bond with the central carbon, and the pi bond between this carbon and that oxygen will be shifted, and it gains a negative charge. In carbon dioxide, the CO bond length is found to be 115 pm. That is the bond length between C and O in carbon dioxide. But we know C double bond O has a bond length of 110 pm and CO single bond has 121 pm. But in carbon dioxide, the CO bond is in between 110 pm and 121 pm, that is 115 pm. That is the average of these two bonds, not exact average, but almost the average of these two bond lengths. So because of resonance, the bond length becomes almost an average value of the true bond lengths. It is possible due to resonance. Similarly, in ozone, you see there are two resonating structures, and this is the resonance hybrid. In ozone, the OO single bond length is supposed to be 148 pm and the OO double bond should be 121 pm. But in ozone, the OO bond length is 128 pm. That is in between 121 and 148 pm. So this is not exact or true OO single bond length or OO double bond length. Here 128 pm is due to resonance. You see, from above we concluded that a single structure cannot define a molecule accurately, so a number of canonical structures are needed. More the number of canonical structures, more is the stability, as some energy is released in form of resonance energy. The energy of the resonance hybrid has lower energy than any one of the resonating structures or canonical structures. So a single structure cannot define a molecule more accurately. That is why a number of structures are needed. Those structures are known as canonical structures or contributing structures. One thing I have noticed, the position of the nuclei in different resonating structures are fixed. The number of bonding electrons and non-bonding electrons are also same in different structures, and the energy of different resonance structures are nearly same. However, resonance hybrid has lower energy than the most stable contributing structure. If there is charge separation in a contributing structure, that contributing structure has some more energy. If the charge separation is not there, then the structure has lower energy. Thank you for watching the video till the end.